Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel guys. Great to be back with another video. It's been a week or so yes, always nice to jump in and share with you guys and just connect, so great, man. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say a warm welcome to you. Just pause the video now, hit that subscribe and the like. I also always say the like as well, before you've listened to the video. I know you're going to like it. If you're interested in farming simulator and map making and that type of things, you'll definitely should like the content. But if you don't like, there's nothing I can do. But yeah, thanks guys for joining. I really do appreciate that, man. Good. So today's video we're talking about how to add a new tree type to your map. Now, didn't really in the past see any need for that because there hasn't been any requests for that. But there is one guy that's really struggling with this, so I thought I'll put a video together to help him out with that. And if there is anyone else that would like to have custom trees and add trees that are not game related to the maps or to your map specifically. Remember, it's not game. You can't add stuff to the game. You have to add to your map. So that's the golden rule of Farming Simulator. And this particular person has got a real problem with that because he's trying to edit the game and not editing the map, So hopefully in this video I can cover all that and yes, just share some info on how to add a new tree type. So let's get stuck in with that, guys. First of all, let's have a quick browse on the way the tree types work. It actually basically works exactly like your fill and fruit types. So you've got an XML that is loading from your map.xml. So let's go to your map.xml. So I'm here in my Alpine. This is a copy of the Alpine map. So it's just a duplicate of the Ellengrot map. So let's go map Alpine and then open the map.xml. So the only thing that calls this whole process into being is this line here, tree types. So at the moment it's calling it from data maps. $data means it's the in-game directory. And remember, when you do any modifications to your map, it always has to happen from your map towards the in-game. Then you save. You cannot add stuff to the in-game map or to the in-game game directory. Everything you do needs to happen in your map folder, in the mods folder. Now the mods folder is designed, and most of the scripts of the game work out of the mods folder. Here, if you go into your Farming Simulator 22 directory in your documents folder, not the game installation directory, which is this one. Mine is a Steam board game, so it will be under Steam apps and whatever. This is the game directory where you see the data folder with everything in it, the placeables and all the effects and foliage and the maps. Everything is in here. This is the game installation directory. Now the Farming Simulator 22 in your documents folder, that is just the save games and the log files and the settings for your game when the game is running. Sorry for that. So in here, your save games happen. So when you save a game, it will pop in here. I've deleted mine obviously to just start fresh. So what I want to say is, when you add stuff, it always needs to happen in the mods folder here. This is the mods folder, and all your files, your map files, your mods. I don't have much mods. These guys that have 1,000 mods in their thing, I don't play with that amount of mods because I'm more into development, so I normally have another folder in my Farming Simulator 22 directory with some favorite stuff that I normally use, and then obviously my long mod list is in here, so I can pick from this into my actual working mods folder and just drag them over and arrange the ones I want and need, for whatever I want to do. Alright, I'm digressing, guys, from trees. But I hope it's clear that you cannot add stuff here to the in-game directory. This is only for the game. This is not for you to modify or to play with or whatever. Whatever you want to modify and play with needs to happen here in this folder, the mods folder. And this particular is my map folder, so I'm going in there. I've already got it open this side. And we're going to work out of this. So very important, guys. Do not attempt to add anything to the in-game folders. You cannot edit anything there. Well, you can, like I always say, you can try and force things and break your finger at the end of the day, you know, because you forced it and then stuff doesn't work and then you cry about it and then, yeah. So don't attempt that. It 10 to 1 won't work, you know. And some guys have made it work with lots of effort and whatever, but I mean, just think about it. If you add something here to the in-game folders, the very first update that's going to come is going to wipe all your work away, you know. So if you change any XMLs there or whatever, it's going to be replaced the moment you have a game update. So no point in changing anything in here. All right, I hope I've made the point clear. All right, so let's go in game and have a quick look at the trees. There's just one thing that I want to quickly set apart there so that you can understand how the trees is pulled and work. But before we do that, let me just exit this when it comes up. Before we do that, I was busy talking about the trees.xml. So the trees.xml, the tree types, is called from maps, map alpine, maps trees type, tree types.xml. Actually, I don't think it calls from there. But anyway, what I wanted to say is this XML starts the whole process of adding a tree. So in this tree types, if you go into the in-game map, which will be Farming Simulator 22 data maps, I think we'll find it in here. Yeah, maps tree types. This is all the in-game trees. They are set up in this XML. So here you can see all the tree types that are available for the in-game maps and for you to place in-game and to buy and to add into your maps. And they are, by the way, in this directory as well. If you go into maps, you will find it here, trees. So all the trees are set up here. So if you want to make your own tree now, you have to make a tree probably in Blender or whatever, because you're going to need a i3D with an XML accompanied, because the XML tells the game what is happening in the i3D, and you'll immediately see that the whole XML is set up to call the i3D. Here it is. That's how the game works. So the XML calls the i3D into the game when your map loads. So when that XML gets called, it will call this i3D and it will set up. Now in this particular American Elm, there's stage 1. There isn't very much stuff, you know. So the other trees might have more, you know. So just want to put your attention on that. So you're going to have to design a map or a tree with stages if you want it to have growth stages. So each growth stage will have its own i3D and XML, and then also obviously you will have store icons and things that make it work, and some LODs and whatever to make the whole thing work. So this is a template for you. This is the stuff that you will need to build manually to make your tree work if you want a custom tree. Alright, so you can study that process. The video is not about making a tree in Blender and that type of things. The video is how to take a already made tree or a different tree that's not on the in-game trees and add that to your map. Alright, so this is what this video is about. So we're going to have a look at that process. Great, so let's go focus back onto the in-game. I'm going to quickly show you an interesting thing there in-game, how the trees are done in-game and then used, and how you can manipulate a tiny bit of them externally, you know. So I'm going to just go Elm Creek just for the heck of it and have a look there how this operates. So I just want to open my console. I normally run my console just to check if there's any errors or whatever coming through. We shouldn't have. This is an in-game map, but I think there is one or two on the in-game maps that might run past, or maybe they've already gone past before I click my little button. Alright, so what you can do now the trees in game. You have forestry, and then you have normal tree planting. Okay, so there's two things that you need to consider, or know that's how the trees can be used in game. So purchase, if you go down here into construction, into landscaping, and then you'll find your trees here. So here you can buy trees like you go to a nursery and you can buy a tree that's fully grown and plant it for 1,400 euros. I mean, that is ridiculous if you think about it. Or you can buy a sapling and plant that. Now, the very first thing you need to know about this two trees here is they will not grow. Once you've planted them this way, they are a non-growing tree. They will stay that way for the rest of the game. Doesn't matter how long you play the game. Now, this is the first thing I want to show you. Now, the next thing is forestry, which is totally different from this process. So in a forest, you'll have 1,000 trees standing in a row, or 2 rows, or 10 rows, or a hectare of trees planted unnaturally by man. And therefore, you need to buy this little thing. It's called a sapling planter. Sorry, need to go in here to there. And note where we're going to fetch that. It is out of forestry equipment. Now, the moment you click on this button, you must know you are busy with forestry work. Totally different from the rest of the game. So let's buy this little thing. And this is... oh my word, I forgot to put it here. So let's just rebuy it. I hope I've got enough money now for that. Oh my gosh. There we go. Don't think it's too expensive. 26 grand. So yeah, it's alright. So this is what it looks like. It's a tree planter. A sapling planter. Now, a sapling is the very first growth state of a tree. Now, this one has actually gone beyond, but this is not really stage 1. It's a sapling, and then it's stage 1. All right. So the sad thing about this tree planter is it plants 1 sapling at a time, and it only loads 20 in the box. So the box you will find here under your pallets, and this is a pallet, guys. There it is, 3 saplings. So the very first thing is, you'll note there's 20 pieces, and if you click custom, you can pick what type of tree you want to plant. Alright, so this is the part that we want to add to the game, is to have the ability to plant saplings of the type of tree that you want to edit or add to the game. Alright, so we're going to attempt that as well and see if we can get it right. So if you select spruces, you'll get a pallet full of spruces, and there it is. Now this little saplings, I'm actually going to need to plant it to make my point in the XML just now. And if we don't do that, I can't show you what it looks like. So let's just hook it up and plant 2 or 3 trees, because we've already now planted that other 2 static trees. Can I? Yeah. So sure that is alright. And now I just need to reverse this thing next to that saplings like that and press R, and now it's loaded. And note here at the bottom, guys, 20 saplings. Now you can imagine, if you're in forestry, you can probably put a worker on planting these little saplings for you. Just want to zoom out a little bit, because I'm not too sure how loud this tractor is over my voice. I hope it's not overpowering my voice. So V to let it down, B to start it up, and then 3 to engage. And there you can see it's planting little saplings for you. And I'm just going to plant, let's just plant 4 of them. There you go. So 4 is done. B, pull it out and get out of the vehicle. Alright. There is your little trees now planted. Now you can imagine now if you have to plant 10,000 of these little things to make a forest. It's going to take a while, you know, and you can put a worker on to do that, probably using maybe cosplay or maybe just a normal worker if you've got a field or an area sorted out. But anyway, my point is, guys, now we're going to save the map. Oh, no, I don't want to quit. I want to save first. because there's something I want to show you which makes the huge difference in this whole thing. Right, now that we've saved it, we can quit, and let's quickly have a look at the save game now. Open this up. Mods Farming Simulator 22, save game 1, and right at the bottom you'll find a tree plant.xml. Now here you can see all the trees that we have planted above the trees that's already in the i3D of the map. So there's our 4 spruces, and what I want to bring your attention to here is growth state. It is stage 1 is that little saplings, and then the big one that we've planted is at stage 7, and the small one that we've planted was stage 1, but it shows growth stage 2 because the sapling is obviously growth stage 1. Now the next thing is growing. Now you can now, if you've planted 1,000 trees manually, remember the 2 that we planted manually was 7 and 8, this 2, they are both is growing is false. So you can come and modify that afterwards just by grabbing this is growing false. If you've got 1,000 of them in here now, copy that. Alright, so all you do is paste that is growing false in there, go to replace, grow in there. Sorry, I've now taken it out, but anyway, it should be true, so you can just make the false true and replace all, and it will put that in for you there. Then that way your trees will grow again. So if you add true in there like so and say replace all your trees that you've manually planted will be growing again, you know. So you can override that. Obviously just take note of the growth state. This one is already fully grown, so there's no point in having it growing any further, you know. It won't grow any further because that's the last state of it. Alright, so that's the in-game way that the trees work. But now the problem is, guys, all these trees that you plant in-game cannot go into your map. They will always stay here in your save game. So you cannot, unfortunately, transfer these trees into your map i3D because it's 2 different setups. I'll show you. Actually, we can quickly have a look at this map that I'm busy with. Let's have a look here. Map Alpine, maps, map Alpine. Just open this i3D quick, and then I'll show you a tree, how a tree looks when it is planted in the i3D in the editor. Control F. Now let's just get past this stuff here, and then let's just search for oak tree. I know there's some oaks on this map. That's materials. We don't want materials. Here we go. There's an oak stage 3. This is a tree that's planted in the editor. Alright, you can see here translation, reference, clip distance, node ID, and then also the shapes for it, the LOD attachments, everything. Now the problem is you cannot tell this tree to grow again, unfortunately. And it's specifically that way, and I'll show you in the map now why it is like that. But this is what it looks like in the editor. When you plant a tree, import a tree and plant it in the editor, it will look like this format. So I've tried, for instance, I've tried this little trick of grabbing this growth state and is growing and modify this, add it here into the oak stage for the transform, but nothing changes. It doesn't work. It doesn't want to grow. So it's just, you can't get it back, you know, unfortunately. You can't get it growing, the trees that you plant in the editor. Alright, so hopefully that makes a bit of sense. So let us now quickly have a look at the actual map itself. So let's open that quickly. Great. Alright, so now if we now want to plant a tree in the map, we need those i3Ds. Remember I showed you the i3Ds in the beginning that you have to create, and we're going to get to that process just now, so that it will be as easy as import I'm here already at the maple, so let's just import the maple i3D and plant another one. There it is. Now this is a tree that I've planted in the map. It cannot grow again, and it will stay at that state forever. Why? Because if you build a map, you use different sizes of trees to make your map aesthetically look nice, and you cannot have these trees growing, because once they grow, they will become fully grown trees, and your map will look different as you play the game. You know, the trees will grow in time. So for that way, if you look at the distant trees there, imagine if they all were the same big size of trees, your map will look horrible. So you can't have a planted growing tree in the editor. That's why in the editor we only plant trees that don't grow. So your map can stay the same, that you've designed it and made it look nice, you know. Having small trees at some places, having big trees at other places. So I hope I've made my point on that, and that you understand that process, how it works. All right, now that we've got all that cleared and out of the way, let us get stuck in with the actual thing. The purpose of this video is how to get a new tree type. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to close this and just save it. Yes, I've downloaded the map for a example. This map is called Oravska Polhora. It's a crazy name, I know, but that is what it's called. Here it is. I've already extracted that, and then you get all this stuff. Now unfortunately this guy has added the Hofbergman animals, so it makes it a bit difficult to extract it here, but with a bit of patience you will definitely get it right. So if you want to have this tree type in your game, you can do it. But he's also got some trees here that is not complete. There is other tree types. I think he's got about 3 or 4. If you go down to his folder of the trees, it's here in Stromy. There it is. There's a Jedler, a Smreki, and a Douglas KA is the one that we're going to use, because that's the only complete one. And then there's a Buck. Now in these you see there is the i3Ds and the diffusers and normals, and then also the shapes for it, but it doesn't have any setup of XML. So you can take this and build your own. I don't even know how these trees look. There's a stage 7. Let's just have a look at how this tree looks. I've never opened one of these, so let's just have a look at what a Buck is. Okay, it looks like a don't know what type of tree this might be, but it is there. It's a tree that you can use and modify it a little bit, create an XML for it from another tree in game, and just modify the XML so that you can actually have a working tree in game, you know. So it is possible to use this tree, but the idea of this video is not to try and fix this system. It's just to show you how to do it. All right, so let's just cut through the stuff and do that. All right, so first of all, you're going to need the i3D setup. Then the next thing you're going to need is the L10N stuff, which will be under translations. Where's the translations folder? There should be a translations folder. Where is it? Am I missing it, guys? There it is, right in front of me. So we're going to need that translations, and I will talk about that when we get to it. And then also we're going to need a new palette, because you cannot use the in-game palette. You're going to have to add a new palette and not try and modify the in-game one. You have to use a different one and set it up according to your new trees. And that is exactly what this guy has done perfectly. No problem with that. However, let's just cut out the one tree and get it done. So it's the objects, because the palettes are in here. There it is. So I'm going to take the objects folder. I don't want to do that. The objects folder, I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. The objects folder, the translations, and the Polhora. That's the 3 that we need here, as well as the tree types. I think he has a tree types in here, does he? XML. Here we go, tree types. I was going to say, so that is what we're going to take out of this map. I'm going to copy it, go into my map. I've already got them here. There it is, objects. I've beforehand just done that, and what I've done is I've just taken the objects folder, the palettes, and I've only left the one I'm interested in, the tree saplings. Alright, so I've deleted all the other stuff because it's irrelevant to this video. And then Polhora the same. I've only left the Douglas KA, because the Douglas KA, as you can see, there's the stages, the XMLs as well as the i3Ds for it. However, this guy has got a stage 0.01.5. I'm not too sure why that is. I haven't bothered about it. Like I say, I don't want to fix anything. I just want to get it to show you the process, how to get it into your map. All right. So there's the i3Ds for it and everything in it there. There's some diffusers and LODs and whatever needed for the actual tree. All right. So and then also the translations. What I've done, I've just deleted the other one because this one is English. EN means it's English. And in here, there's a lot of translations that you can delete. The only ones you actually need is the one for the palette. I can just leave everything. It doesn't matter. Remember, the translations is just naming a system that is recognized by the game, and then a text that is displayed in the game. So that's all the translations does. It's only to tell the game this is the actual system that you're looking for. In the script, it runs and finds this thing, and in the game it displays it at this, like this. That's what this is for. So it's not nothing special or technical or whatever, you know. So in here we've got some I'm just going to leave this. It's irrelevant if there's more translations. It doesn't really matter. So it's not going to make it work or not work, you know. You'll have a little message in game saying there's no 110N translation for this name. Then you know, oh, I have to add the translation for that little thing, you know. So yeah, so I'm going to leave this as is. Tree plant, the tree plant XML. Yes, I've modified that, guys. I'm going to quickly show you what I've done there. Here we go to tree plants, tree types. Here we go. The tree types, another interesting thing, guys. If you open any XML, like your fill types, the fruit types, the tree types, you don't need all the in-game stuff. The in-game stuff is hard-coded in the game, so whether you have it in your XML or not, it will always be there. Alright, so what you can do is just remove all of these tree types stuff, and the only one I want to keep is there, that one there, and then this one, so I can remove, bring it down to tree type, to the last one, like so. So that's all you need, is these tree types, is the one we want to focus on. So all the other ones, the in-game stuff, you don't need to have in there. Alright, so I've already done that, so I'm not going to worry about that. Here it is. That's what it's look like if you've finished modifying it. Sorry, no, that's the tree plant. Don't want that. Tree types. This is the actual in-game tree types. Sorry guys, I'm not get confused here with the things now. That I can close. The map i3D, we're not going to do anything in there. The 110s we're done with. Let me just focus here for a second. Alright, so the maps, the in-game stuff, what I wanted to share with you guys, if you look at the in-game things, let's just open a new folder. It's data maps. Here we go. If you look at your fill types, for instance, all these fill types of wheat, barley, you can delete them. You don't need them in your fill types.xml because they're hard coded. Whether it's in here or not, it will always load. So you can actually delete all of these out of your fill types. At the bottom, you can remove them all. They don't need to be in here. I'm not talking about the in-game one. I'm talking about the fill types in your map, guys. If you've got custom fruit and you've got the fill types in your map folder, this stuff you don't modify. Please don't understand me wrong here. I just don't want to get you confused. But if you go into your map, for instance, let's have a look at this whatever map. It should have a fill type or a fruit type or something. New fill types. Alright, so here we go. Pumpkin, you see, this guy's done it correctly. So fill types, you only put the new things. You don't need the in-game stuff. The in-game stuff is there for the in-game things, you know. So there you go. This guy's done it perfectly. That's made my point for me. So don't go edit the in-game thing. You can't edit that. If you edit that, you'll mess up the game, you know. So stick with me. Great stuff. Okay, so back to where we are copying the things over. So we've got a few folders. It's on the desktop. Temp new folder. Here we go. So this is the things we've extracted now from that other map to make the trees work. So we've got the palette, we've got the tree, and we've got the translations and the XML. And the XML, I've just, like I showed you, I've just removed everything else. I'm only interested in the Douglas KA, which is the complete one. And note, this thing has got 9 stage i3Ds here in the XML, but is only in game. For some reason, it only loads 7 of them. I want to go back here to, where's my thing now, man? New folder, Polhora Stromy. If you open this, you'll see he's actually got 9 of them here, but in game it only takes 7. So I don't know what the problem is, but like I say, the idea is not to fix it, it's just to show you how to put it in the game and how to make it work. All right. And it's going to work. We're going to plant these trees and we're going to test the 7 growth stages that is working, and you'll see it, you know. So you can fiddle on your own, try to fix it and sort it out if necessary, if ever you want to fix it, you know. But for me, I just want to show you the process. Good. All right, so guys, so now that stuff here, we're going to take all of these things that I've extracted, Control C, and go into my map, which is mods, map Alpine. Oh, I'm going to put it in the root. Very important for this video purpose. I'm going to put the tree types, Control X. I'm going to put that in my place here where I like my configuration XMLs. So my map XML is here, my fill types is here, placeables is here, everything. So I'll keep that together. And now we need to open the map XML, because the map XML, remember when we started the video, thanks, my lovely wifey just brought me some nice coffee. Tree types is the one that calls, the map XML calls the tree types. So we need to fix that line now to call this one. So in order to do that, I need to just do this. So it's going to be maps, map Alpine, and then tree types. Now remember the spelling there, guys, it's very important. Tree types, just verify that. What I normally do is I just go like this, click once, wait a second, click again, copy that back to the XML and just paste it in there. That way you double click and then just Control V and it overrides, and then you know the spelling is perfect. You don't have typos and all kinds of things. You must grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back and relax with me. It's getting interesting now. Alright, so we've got the tree types called correctly, and the reason I don't want to change the directories is because in here in the tree types it's already got the structure here. So when I put copy that into my base of the map or the root directory of the map, it will follow this already. So you can come now and change this directory and make it your own in your own map, you know, because it doesn't need the Polhorma and it doesn't need the Stormy. It does need the Douglas, and you can call it Douglas Fir because that's what it is. It's a modified Douglas Fir tree. So you can do that on your own time, you know, but to save a bit of video time, let's not worry about that. Alright, so back into my root directory, and in here we've got the palette and the saplings, and once again the same thing here. You don't need the objects, you just have palettes and then saplings or whatever, but you can leave it as is as well. Alright, there's our XML for the sapling, and it's all set up with the palette. So if you open this, the saplings are in here, the nodes are there, and one thing to notice is I think this guy in the i3D has added some more. Let me just have a look in the i3D. If we open this with Notepad+, I think it's in here. Yeah, you can see here he's added an extra 20 saplings to this thing. So at least this palette of saplings have 40 in them, you know, so it's a bit of a boost on the in-game one. So it does take you a little bit further, you know. So yeah, that's great. Good. All right. So let's leave all of that. So now that I've added all that to the in-game map, and the one thing that calls it the whole process into being is my map.xml, and we've sorted that out. There's my map.xml. It's calling the tree types, and the tree types calls the i3ds, as well as the palettes, and everything is in there. So all should be working now. So let's give it a test. Don't think there's anything else that we need to do. Now we can just run into the game, check it out, and see how it's working. Note guys, I have started a new save game, and I've just left that old save there, so I'm now on save 2, just to get a fresh start and see where we are. So I don't want to go into that with the trees already planted there and all kinds of stuff. Alright, so let's just run in here, make a spot here for delivery, and then let's just buy that little sapling planter. Now sapling planter will be under under here, under forestry. Alright, sapling planter, there it is. Yes, okay. And now when you get to your saplings under the pallets, you will note that we have the in-game one, which you won't be able to use. You need to go to the modified one, which is not there. Tree saplings, that's the expansion for the platinum. Why is our modified sapling? Oh, you know what, forgot, we didn't even do the mod disk or the, oh my word, no wonder. Sorry guys, it's too premature for testing. We have to first modify the mod disk, the most important part of this whole process. The mod disk, where's our mod disk? Obviously it's in the root directory always. There it is. So what we need to do is, for the store items, we need a store item for that seed trap, that sapling planter. So let us go to that map that we've downloaded. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Open its mod disk, and you'll see Control F, sapling. Let's just find it. There it is. Objects, pallets, tree saplings. Remember, we have to have that pallet. You can't work without that pallet. So what we need to do is just drop this into our store items, so that in store we will see the sapling, the modified sapling pallet. Alright, so that will sort that out. And then, very important line is the translations. I haven't showed that. Unfortunately, it's already in here, but you need to bring that over as well. I think that is on top. If I go to the top, here it is. Yeah, you need this line to call the 110N translations. So copy that line. It's under the translations folder, and then the the L10N will be found there. So just copy that line into your mod disk there, and then when you paste it, when we pasted the translations in here, it will pull this L10N as the one that we want to add to the game. Alright, so that will be fine. Now we can go and test, guys. Sorry for that, I forgot about that process. Sometimes, you know how it goes, your mind runs forward and have to come back a little bit, take a breather. Good stuff. Great, man. Okay, so now next thing to do is grab another one. Let's go into Ian's Alpine map, is the one we're trying to check. So there's no mods, it's all done in your map folder. Nothing in game, guys. Everything from your map folder. Very important to realize you cannot do anything in the game folders. It has to happen in your map folder. Alright, so here we are. Let's try again, guys. I'm gonna go in here, drop a buying point, and we were here buying the forestry stuff and the sapling planter. Buy it, yes, thanks. Coming back to the pallets, and now we should have, that's the in-game one, that's the DLC one, and there you can see it's the modded one. Alright, tree sapling. So we customize that, and we want to check now. You'll find, remember, in that XML, I removed all the in-game ones, but here they are back. Remember I told you that it doesn't matter if you've got the stuff in there, because they are hard-coded in the game. You cannot remove them. So just as simple as that. Here's all the in-game ones anyway, you know. So what we want to do is find that modified Douglas fir, which is the one that we've, Douglaska, there it is, Douglas KA. We buy that one, and here we go. There it is. And this pallet should have 40 trees in it, although there's only space for 20. So I don't know. It's like two superimposed on one another, so it doesn't really matter. So let's just tap to a tractor, give it a quick test, and let's just see if the growth stages work. And very important is to make sure that you can cut the tree. Now I've got a few trees of my own, and I'm busy with a friend's tree just to help him figure out why the game doesn't want to cut it. So my dog is having a heart attack because he's hearing another dog outside. These things are crazy. Oh, there you go. And note now we've got 40 saplings, although there's only 20 in the box. But anyway, let's just look beyond that, you know. And let's give it a plant. Well, let's reverse up from there. I'm just going to plant 2 or 3. We actually only need 1. Doesn't really matter. But let's just plant 2 or 3 here to see how they grow. I'm just going to put it down. Well, let me just get this course plate thing out of the way. Here's 1. Here's 2. Hey, this is a slow process, guys. There's 3. Alright. Totally alright with that, guys. I'm totally alright with that. Great. So what we can do now is have a look at how these saplings grow. Let's just go close like this, and we can see the growth stages. So let's go into our HUD visibility, take that off and put extra time scales on, and then let's run. There you go. Let a day go by. We should have a growth stage popping up. There you go. After a day or 2, you can immediately see they've grown a bit. Let's go a little bit forward. That's our first growth stage there, and there's our second growth stage working nicely. There's our 4th one, 5th one, 6th one, and I think there's 1 to go, 7th one. So that was our last growth stage there. Alright, let me just bring this back to normal and bring our HUD back like so. So there we go, guys. Having this one here, it's a tree type, it's a pine, and the length is 40 meters. Crazy big tree. It's a tiny bit bigger than the in-game one. If we now buy an in-game one for interest's sake, landscaping, trees, the in-game pine, this is it here. It's called an old pine. Mind you, that's not large pine. Large pine, that's the large pine. I think that's the shop areas restricted, so that's the one there. And then also let us place the old pine here, because I think the old pine might be a bit bigger. Where did I plant that now? Here we go. Now I can't see. I'm too close. Give you an idea. Yeah, the old pine is difficult to judge the height. Let's just put the flight tools on. Sorry guys, I'm like tapping buttons here. Yes. Okay, so the large pine, if you look at it, is not the last growth stage, but the old pine is. And this one, this modified pine, is a tiny bit bigger, but yeah, it is fairly big. if you consider how big a tree goes, 40 meters, my word, that's the size of a cellular mast, you know. So there you go. This is 32 meters. Okay, great, man. Great, so you can see the trees are working on the forestry side, no problem there. Let's just check it in the editor. Alright, so that is all done and dusted, working great, no problems there. And like I say, I'm not yet to try and fix anything. I just want to show you the process of how to do it. Alpine maps, map Alpine, and in the editor. Now, if you've created your trees in Blender or wherever you create trees, maybe Maya or Autodesk Scaleform or whatever program you used to use, or you've just got a tree with an R3D, you can actually place that tree in game simply by importing it. So file import, going to go to our map folder this time, map Alpine, and we know it's Paul Hoeraas, Stromy, Douglas KA, and these all our trees. Now these you can plant at will just by importing them into your map. Obviously create yourself a folder called trees and put it in there under its own name, Douglas KA, keep it nice and neat. And now I can go Control B and just drop this guy down. There it is. It's a little stage 1. Alright, so I can now plant a lot of them and they will not grow, guys. However, they will be cut. And now I forgot to test if we can cut them, you know. But I know they've cut. I have tested it. So let's just go file, import another one, stage 7. Mind you, I wanted to have a quick browse here. Control B. Just want to see Douglas 8M. I'm not too sure what the 8M is, but that thing is not 8 meters high for sure. It's much higher than that. So that's the stage 7. So file import. This is stage 9 as well, which is not available in game for some reason. That's a 13 meters. This guy says, but it's definitely not 13 meter. I don't know. His measurement tape is gone because in game it says it's 40 meters, you know. So I'm going to leave this 3 here just for fun. Save the map. Once it's saved here at the bottom, we can quickly go back in game and just check it out for fun, you know. I like this is like how do you call it? It's R&D, guys, research and development, making sure that things work and having fun testing it. So let's start a new game now. It's Alpine map start. All right, and then let's just see. Nice. Oh, and obviously, naturally, you will check your log for errors, guys. Do not run your thing and run into a problem and not check your log, because if you don't check your log, you won't know what problems you have. The log tells you what problems you have. All right. Now I know this doesn't have problems, so no point in worrying about that. But what I'm interested in is to have a look at these trees. What are they saying now? Because I know that other one was 40 meters, and this stage 9 that is not available is 64 meters. My word. Okay, so in the editor you can actually plant this one, which is terribly big. And in game, the biggest one you can get is the stage 7, which is this one, which is, oh, now suddenly it's 50 meters. Oh, maybe I've missed it. I think it's one stage back. So this 2 is definitely not part of the game, you know. And this one is a little sapling, stage 1. Doesn't even register. Oh my word. Alright, what I wanted to do is check if it can be cut with a chainsaw. I know they can be cut because I'm sure I've tested it. Don't think there will be a problem. If you see that little ring, you know it's going to cut. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now for you guys, I've got, yeah, that was wonderful. Huh? That was beautiful. Look at the strange texture there at the bottom of the tree. That doesn't look normal. It's a bit too small for this big trunk, and I think this one will be even worse. I think we need to get a bigger chainsaw, you know. It's easily a 60-meter tree. Oh wait, it's almost like the American red, what do you call those things in America? The red, whatever. Wow, yeah, I know that texture is not suited for this tree. I'm gonna have to enlarge that a little bit. to fit this tree. But anyway, it's working, and the process, guys, if you have trees that is not cuttable, and I think this is the problem, is you need to follow this setup that I've done now. Put the new tree type with the L10N description, and then add the tree XML with the sapling and everything like that, and I'm sure if you do it that way, your tree will be cut. Now I'm going to test this by myself, because I've got my own tree for South Africa, the acacia, which I've used on my Garib map, and basically most of my maps has got the acacia in it somewhere, you know. So I love that tree because it's like part of our tree groups here in South Africa, and that one I know for a fact you can't cut it, and I've always been wondering what makes a tree cuttable. So I think I've stumbled on the reason now. And I'm going to do some testing on that to make sure, but I think this is going to sort it out. So once you've added the tree via a new sapling box, as well as a new tree type into the game, not just an i3D. If it's just a single alone i3D, like we've done here, with no XML connected to it and no XML loading as a tree type, then the cutter won't work. The effects of the lawnmower, listen to me, lawnmower, chainsaw. I just want to see if it actually creates a log if you cut it now. It should create as a log. Yeah, if I now double tap my alt, because I've got that thing, I can have superpowers and pick this thing up. Wonderful. So this should be now sellable. It's a pine log. It should be sellable in the sawmill, you know. So yeah, definitely. I haven't tested that, but it should be. I mean, it says here pine 5.8 meters. It's recognized that I've cut it on 5.8 meters. So that should be a nice, and it weighs 2.2 tons. My word, it's a heavy piece of log. Great stuff, man, guys. So yeah, I hope it's been insightful and helped a lot. It was really fun to me. I enjoyed it thoroughly, putting these large trees in, and yeah, now you can use this process and add your own trees, get i3Ds and stuff going, XMLs, and just add your own trees following this process. And you can modify that sapling XML to your own needs, but just make sure that you call it from your map directory. It needs to be in your map directory, and it needs to be called from your map XML to your new sapling, so that when you're in game you have a new sapling palette like there. Then that's the in-game one, that's the DLC one, and this is the new one. It says mod. Alright, enough jaw flapping, guys. You have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.